Alright then, so with every update there will be shadow changes, because why the fuck not? In this video I'm going to talk about every shadow change they added in the Sweetberry Catacombs update. So yeah, let's get with it. Starting off with the Caustic Fang nerf. So basically its piercing went from 50% to 35%, which was a pretty alright change since the Venom stuff is pretty cool. Also on the side note, it's only really good on Creepy Claw and Gravetree because all the other Venom weapons are just shit, or you just can't get Venom most of the time. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Next shadow change is the green balloon buff. They gave the green balloon 6 agility and 10 plus jump power, making the green balloon actually usable, which is a pretty good thing. Next shadow change is the Iron Battleaxe rework. Like honestly, I never really used this weapon that much, but since everything that was teased in the dev stream is either a shadow change or new addition, so yeah, here's the Iron Battleaxe rework. It makes your character leap forward and smashes your axe downwards. One of the cooler specials, but it's on a weapon that really sucks. Next shadow change is the Serpent Scepter rework. The rework made it so that the special shoots out a tongue that hits the enemy for 2 ticks, and each tick dealing 10 damage as well as some venom damage. Next shadow change is the Corroded Scalpel buffs and nerfs. The buffs made the Corroded Scalpel's damage increased. No, actually no. It made the Corroded Scalpel's increased damage and piercing by 3%, but just a day or two later, they nerfed the increased damage and piercing by 2%, making it 8% damage and piercing when an enemy has a mental effect now. Next shadow change is the Bloodthirst rework. Basically, Bloodthirst is less effective on daggers and light melees, while it works better with heavy melees. Next shadow change is the Charm Gem nerf, going from 20% increased crit damage to 20% increased crit damage. Although not that much, that is still a DPS nerf, so yeah, that sucks for the Charm Gem, I guess. Next shadow change is the Prime Brand and Champions Gladius nerfs. I decided to group these weapons up together because the nerfs are so similar that it would be a shame if I had 2 different segments for these weapons. So the nerfs are Prime Brand's base damage going from 25 to 24, and Champions Gladius's base damage going from 32 to 30. You might think that Gladius got the harsher nerfs, but nerfing Prime Brand's base damage also nerfs the lasers, so their nerfs are pretty much equal. Next shadow change is the Nazar Buff. Nazar now reduces mana consumption by 10% when equipped. Very nice buff, but the Nazar is still kinda trash. Hey, editing 3ND here. So just to let you guys know, that I don't have any screenshots of the old Nazar since no one fucking uses it. So I'm gonna show you some proof that this thing is actually a real buff. So if you go on the Trello, I'll put a screenshot on the screen. It shows that, you know, it's its previous stats before the buff. So basically what I'm trying to say here is that this buff, it was so obscure and no one knows about it to where even the people who manage the Trello don't even know about it. That's so funny. Alright, let's actually get to the next shadow buff, or nerf, I don't know what it is. Next shadow change is Kaigai's new retargeting AI. Basically, if someone stands still for too long, Kaiga will randomly switch aggro onto them. I'll show footage right now. There's a chance it might not work though. Alright, so after I'm saying him once. He should just go after you. Oh, see? Well, that's
he says it even if it's the other person.
Yeah, it said blast the turtle, it's your turn. Next shadow change is a False Believer Bell voice lines. What I mean is that when you fight flawlessly with the Bell equipped, he'll have new voice lines. These include, so when you aggro on him, he says, "That bell, I know that sound, hand it here." And when you get into his second phase, he says, "Yeah, your bell is a fake, a fraud I tell ya. I'm close, I know me well." Next shadow change is making weapons not come with the Titan Brace anymore. These weapons include Haunted Scythe, Imperial Maul, Harpoon, Trident, Prism Lance, Iron Spear, and Mithril Spear. Next shadow change is Lucky Reforge, going from 10% increased crit chance to 20% increased crit chance. Good change for an underused Reforge. Next shadow change is the Royal Amulet rework, removing its previous stats for a 50 plus increased max HP. Interesting rework, but it works, and I like it. Next shadow change is mana gained on counter with Water Stance. We don't know how much they nerfed the mana gain on counter, but I can say that it's around 50%, so yeah, that's cool I guess. Next shadow change is new Miss Normal Screams. Do I have to say anymore? Next shadow change is a Blackened Skeleton being added to the monster spawning roster for Mysterious Charm. God damn, are the developers fucking evil. Next shadow change is Outlaw Glasses mana gain on crit being nerfed. I don't know how much, but it did get nerfed at some point. I don't have footage of old screenshots, but when you play the game, you'll definitely see it. Last shadow change is a Blood Chalice nerf, making it so that if you have the Blood Chalice equipped, you have no passive regen anymore. Blood and Chalice did have passive regen nerf by 75%, but they just made it so you get no regen at all anymore. Alrighty then, and that's mostly all the shadow changes I found. Some were from others like Kai Guy AI and voice lines, but most I found on my own. Also, there are probably some shadow changes I missed, but that's because they are shadow changes, and shadow changes are hard to find because you don't fucking know what changed, because like I said, they are shadow changes. Well, anyways, that marks the end of the video. Huge thanks for Blastoturtle for helping me in the Kai Guy segment and showing me the Kai Guy shadow changes. Love that feller. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And make sure to check out my other stuff if you haven't yet, and I'll see you fellers next time. Goodbye, my fellas.